Hey everybody. Excuse me. Hope you guys are doing alright. So timing is so sorry, it's just this is not like a it's hard sometimes it's hard to know how articulation it's a skill. I mean it's an art form really. I mean to be able to express yourself like well, is takes a lot of things. It takes, it's just anyway. I'm not trying to get into all that. Just so there's layers to things, and so what I'm getting is because a particular person has spent so much time, essentially wearing a mask. Not. I don't even like doing this, but I feel like I have to. So. Because she spent a lot of time just not, I mean if she was really about saving the children, the planet, the project, and everything that I've been talking about for years now, then I mean I feel like they're like, why wouldn't she, like we would be talking like I mean even just from the standpoint of wanting to help me out with this, I feel like if she really wanted to, then she would have. And I think that I think a part of her still really does. I think that there's a lot of different parts to her. So there's that part that does, but there's also the part of her that's very skeptical and doubtful of anybody's ability to do this. And I agree too, because I get in, my father, he thinks it's rather impossible because there's just so much money that these other companies are making that he thinks it's impossible for this to happen. And I disagree. I'm like, no, dude, I mean, I get it. There's a lot of money. And yes, people are dependent on the system as it is right now, and there's going to be a transition, but it doesn't mean it's not impossible. Like there is ways to help the transition from the way that we're currently living to living in a harmonious way. It is going to take sacrifice. It is going to take change. It is going to have, there's going to be pain and hardships and challenges that are a part of it. As with any good change and anything that's worth doing is worth doing well. It takes time and effort and energy and pain and sacrifice and blood and tears and all this shit. So, yes, that's going to happen. Um, So, but in regards to a particular person, I don't want to get sidetracked here because I can do that sometimes. But so because she spent, and again, I don't. There is that's the conclusion that I'm coming up with, and again, a lot of this I'm having to speculate and guess because I'm not being shown what the truth is, and that's her choice, and that choice in itself says something about where she's at. And I'm not trying. This is not a condemning, or I really want the best for her. I really do, but I also got to be, as we all should be, as mindful and realistic with the situation and who we are and who we're, and the relationships we choose to be in, because there's levels of connectivity, there's levels of resonance and the ability to connect with somebody and to have a good and successful and healthy relationship. And because me and a particular person have so much, I mean, there's years of baggage, for all different types of reasons and things, and there's all different types of people from my past that are, could be involved. There's just a lot of things. There's a lot there. And right now I think I'm getting very close to reaching a point with this project. Maybe in a few months I'm hoping, tops, to where I'd be able to, theoretically start talking to some people about getting it going. So what I'm getting is it's getting close to being go time from like, higher vibrational, like it's getting close to like myself. I'm getting closer to being ready. Like, so it's getting close to being at that point to where, this is going to be a whole new opportunity for mankind. And it's literally, the intent is to save and change the whole world, like everything. Like it's going to start with what we, the basic essentials, but the idea is to expand as far as we can and change this realm from one that's in my opinion, controlled by malevolent, evil, lower vibrational beings and people and organizations and and creatures. From that to one that's the opposite, one that's controlled largely by, by benevolence, by goodness, by love, by God or Most Highs, or just higher vibrational ways of doing things. It's going to be an opportunity for that real change in every single way. And it's going to start with the basic essentials: food, water, energy, and shelter. And then we'll move forth as we can. But yes, to totally change the government and everything is what, not just what I want, but what I feel needs to happen. So like you can't, that's just not something you can just jump right into, as I've said before in the past, and as I'm saying now. And unfortunately for a particular person, like, again, because she's entertained so many different things throughout her life, she doesn't, this could be why she's feeling down right now too. Is when you do that, you lose momentum, like in other things. Like if you're constantly, going from one thing to the next thing, then it's hard for you to develop good momentum in any one thing, and then you're left kind of like just fleeting, like kind of just going along with whatever is going along, and and that's one way to live. It is a way to live. People can do that, but in order for to serve the Most Highs, like you can't. I mean, you just can't. Like you got to be in, like, to serve the Most Highs well, to serve anything well. You're gonna have to have some good momentum, some good like care and energy put into that which you're serving. So because I haven't, and I think she has done a lot of work on herself. I don't know if she hit a little bit of a slump. Is kind of what it feels like, but I don't know. But I do think she has, in the past, done a lot of work on herself, and she's made a lot of improvements. I think just recently, perhaps, she's decided to kind of change things up a little bit. And, I don't even know. Again, I'm making a lot of assumptions, but if she was really, 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 really seriously, like, wanting to, save starving children and that whole thing, then I feel like she would have reached out to me before and wanted to, at the very least, collaborate with me in doing that, So because she hasn't, that just says something. And I know the Draconic Priestess, she isn't, talking about, saving the planet and all this and that, but she is, like, putting herself out there to help others. Like, her channel is all about sending messages, sharing messages with the collective, with the intent of helping people get over their shit and grow and move on and not be, because there is a spiritual war going on, dude, and there's a lot of fucking malevolent forces that feed off of the benevolent ones and take advantage and manipulate and twist and turn, and that is their MO, to do these things. So like that's like these good tarot readers that stand kind of in the way, or as a pillar of clarity and goodness and guidance and truth and love and light, they're doing a real good job. Like that's good fucking work that they're doing. And she's good at it. She's so she's built up a lot of momentum in serving good, serving love, serving light, love, life, essentially, healthiness, all these types of things. So because of that, it's going to be easier for us to connect on that wavelength. And with what I'm going to be doing, with what I am doing, and where this is going, as far as like when it gets to that point to opening up to the public, like I'm going to need somebody by my side who's got that fucking hardcore grit and own individual determination for the Most Highs. That's another thing with the particular person, is I think a lot of times she kind of only goes along with it because like I go along with it. It's like, you really need to find it within yourself. That's why, like, the hat thing, I get frustrated a lot of times when you guys take it off, because it shouldn't even be about me. Like, I feel like you guys take it off and put it on because you want to, like, appease me or show support to me, but you shouldn't, you shouldn't be doing that with the hats. That should be something that you do on your own volition because you choose to, follow the Most High. That's why I do it. There's other things too, but it's mainly because it's like my uniform. Like, this is a piece of my uniform that I wear in service for the Most Highs. It's kind of like a badge. And that's why I would want you guys to wear it too. Not because you support me or anything like that, but just because you guys believe in the Most Highs, and you're choosing to put on, to don, your uniform, which is this, and you know, whatever. There's more things that I want to come later, but essentially right now it's covering of the heads. And then there's also the energetic thing about, you know, if you're constantly wearing the same piece of fabric or clothing, especially on your head where the crown chakra is, you know, your energy is constantly fucking radiating out, and you know, the fabric what you're wearing is absorbing that fucking radiation. So like when you continuing to wear the same thing over time, and if you don't wash it, yeah, it might sound kind of gross, but you know, it's only, I mean, I don't know, my shit, it just smells like my hair. I mean, it doesn't smell gross to me. Maybe some people does, but I don't fucking mind. I know when shit gets gross, and I do wash it when it gets that way. But like I can go for a long time. Like sweat to me doesn't bother me. So it's like, it's actually, I feel like the hat that I work out in all the time, like that shit, like when I put it on, I can feel myself like almost like just putting it on makes me want to work out more, because I've spent so many hours working out with that hat on, and because I don't wash it, like I've just charged the fuck out of that hat. So I think this is perhaps some of the reasons why like superstitious, like sailors, maybe sailors probably do it too, you know, sailing's a fucking dangerous thing, but soldiers, what I was trying to say, soldiers and also people in sports, they'll often, they can be superstitious about fucking, you know, things that they wear and clothings, and you know, things that they put on, and because I think it has to do with that, with the energy that's associated with those items. So anywho, get a little off tangent here, but essentially what I'm saying is that I just don't think, because of where she's chosen to put her energy in, you know, it's just for the timing right now and where I'm at, and what it's going to take for me to get to that place to where I can offer this to humanity. I just don't think she's you know, as equipped as, you know, it may need be to fulfill that position. And then also because of that, you know, our ability to connect is also going to be challenging, you know, and you know, especially because we're both in kind of like hard situations right now. It's especially challenging. So like what's coming through to me for her, the best thing that I'm getting, because I seriously want the best for her, and what's coming through to me for her is for her to really just take a break and focus on herself for like 3 months is what I'm getting. Like, you know, if I were, you know, what I'm feeling, again, she's gonna do whatever she wants, but you know, what I feel, you know, is coming through that I can share with her to help improve her life is that, for one, it would be good for her to stop sleeping with other people. Like, just, you know, unless, you know, you really find somebody that you're really in love with, then that's different. But if it's just, you know, for a one-night stand type, you know, escapism fixation thing, you should stop doing that. It's just hurting you in a number of different ways is what I'm getting, and maybe I'll do a video about that later. And I get it too. I'm not judging or anything like that. You know, yes, it changes things a little bit, but I understand what it's like to have very intense, you know, sexual desires, man. I get it. However, there's a price, you know, and I know what it. Anyway, I'll do a video on that one later. But again, this is stuff that I feel is largely coming from the Most Highs, and I'm just sharing also, you know, my ability to connect to whatever is up there, and also with my own personal, you know, experience and wisdom. You know, I do agree with that she should take some time off from being with other people and just focus on herself, like, you know, focus on, you know, healthy things that she loves to do, and taking care of her body, and then the things that she loves, and figuring out what it is that she really wants to do, you know, and in this world, you know, because like I'm here to help. Like that's my MO here right now in this reality, is to help others. And sometimes I feel like she really has an issue with that, and that's another reason why it's going to be hard for us to have a relationship, because that's like the main thing that I feel I need to do here, right? Especially right now, and like she's not even really wanting to. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't even really want to do that. So ask, like, you know, maybe ask yourself, like, is that what you want to do? Like, do you want to help people? Like, why do you think you came to this realm? Like, why are you here on this planet? And, you know, and then if she does want to help people, like, focus on what it is. Like, what area do you want to help people? And I've always thought that she'd be a great talk therapist, because she's so good at talking, and that she was one of the, you know, the main Nature Boy did it, but she, even more so than Nature Boy, was somebody who really shared with me how powerfully beneficial it can be to vocally express your emotions and to be real with how you're feeling and all this and that. And it's also why I've had such a little bit of a frustration or issue with her, because it's like I feel like she's not being as forthcoming as she could be with the truth, and from somebody who puts such an emphasis on being real, you know, and it's like, well, she's not even being real. So anyways, but just to focus on, you know, if you do choose that you want to help people, like, well, what area do you want to help people? So yeah, those are some things that you know, she can work on if she wants to. Excuse me. So yeah, all right, I think I'm good for now. All right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.